Alright, so I'm going to show how to open up and disassemble this Alienware 15R3. So first what we're going to want to do is remove all the screws from the bottom. So just from this panel. Alright, so there's one. Second, set some stuff aside. Okay. Alright, one. Keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shapes, and lengths. Alright. Two. That screw actually stays in place, it seems. Three. Well, these screws, some of these are pretty difficult to remove. Okay, sorry, my elbow's getting in the way. Three. 4. 5. 6. This is very likely going to be just a quick disassembly. The laptop is powering on, but it's not showing anything on screen. So I'm actually going to be checking if it's the RAM. Okay. And 7 screws. Okay. So we got all 7 screws. Again, this one stays in place. And this actually helps it so that once you lift that screw, you can get underneath with your fingernails or a pry tool. And then you can kind of wiggle this and get this lid off. Okay, kind of have to just wiggle it around, and there we go. So these clips kind of go back so you can pull them back that way, and that's how we get inside. Alright, so as you can see, it's actually still spinning. So I think something, actually this motherboard is fried because it's turning itself on and off and on and off. I thought I powered it off, but I guess it's turning itself back on. Okay, so let's see what we can do. So we got the hard drive here. I'm gonna have to see if I can disconnect the battery. So there's a battery release cable here, so we're gonna disconnect that first just to be safe. Okay, so to remove that, you can use some pry tools. I'm just gonna use my fingernails and kind of just use the little raised part to kind of wiggle the connector back, just like that. And there we go. Now the battery is completely disconnected. After you do that, you want to open up the computer, and then you want to press and hold the power button for about 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, and this will drain power from the board. Right? Okay, so that should be good. Alright, and a lot of times what I see on laptops is if they're not turning on properly but they're getting power, it can be the RAM. So there's the RAM here. We're going to pop these two to the side. The stick of RAM pops out, and then a lot of times I just do this. Make sure that you're grounded though, so that way you don't get static into the RAM. Okay, so let's see here. If the customer is lucky, that will be the issue. Otherwise, it can be the motherboard is bad, and on these models that can be very expensive. So we'll see. I don't know why there's a piece of tape under here. I'm going to peel that off. Throw that away. Okay. Alright, so we got that. There's a lot of dust in here, so I'm probably going to clean that up later as well. But we're just going to go through and see like the simple stuff. So that's how you do the RAM. There is an M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD here. So to remove that, there's just one screw here. I don't think I mentioned, but this is all these screws come out with a PH1 or JIS1 screwdriver. Okay, once you remove that screw, you can actually lift this SSD up slightly like this at an angle, and then once you do that, you can kind of wiggle and pull it back. Alright, so that's how you remove the SSD. I'm going to put that back in. This is just going to be a quick look inside. I'm not going to do a complete disassembly of this one. Right? Oh, they put like a fabric-y tape over there underneath the screw. Okay, there's another M.2 SSD slot here, and then there's actually there's two. So there's this half-length one. I don't remember what it's called, but it goes by the length of the SSD, I believe. There's the motherboard model number here. So There you go. If you can see that, LA-D751P. Okay, and it says revision 1. So some of these SSD slots, I don't know if they will only support SATA SSDs, but it doesn't mention anywhere on here. So the only way you can know is by just trying it out, or if you Google around online, somebody might mention it. Remove SSD 1, 2, and 3, and wireless card before service. I don't see where the wireless card is here. Oh, underneath here. Okay, so the wireless card is underneath this plastic piece. So basically what this thing is saying is they actually tell you, it's kind of nice, they give you instructions, but it wants you to remove all that stuff before basically completely disassembling the laptop, and that's because they connect on top of this case, so if you try and just rip it out, it's going to be attached and you can't do that. Right? Anyways, there's the keyboard backlight cable here. They actually label this. I don't know what MK stands for, but I'm going to guess that that's the trackpad or the touchpad. And then another, MKBL, KBBL. So this is the keyboard backlight. I'm guessing this is the mouse or the touchpad, trackpad backlight. And then these connectors are for the light bars that are on the sides. Okay, let's see, I don't really see much else I can show on here. And, oh, this one is most likely, yeah, this is the keyboard connector. So, yeah, that's mostly what's there. And also, if you're going to completely disassemble, I would undo all of these cables. I thought I worked on one of these models before, but I guess I probably didn't record it. So, and then there's a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive here. So we're going to remove these screws. Okay, it looks like someone already removed a screw, or there's a screw missing, or maybe that goes in from the back cover. Yeah, actually I think that's the back cover screw, so there's not supposed to be a screw there. So keep that in mind. Again, you want to keep the screws in order. Alright. Alright, so remove the 3 screws here if you want to replace the 2.5-inch SATA drive. You can upgrade it to an SSD if you want. Let's see, is there a place to grab this? Not really, so I'm just going to use my fingernail in here and then pull it up. And then to replace the hard drive here, there's this connector. So you can actually grab this pull tab and then pull this up. Okay, a lot of times these, like, see, I'm pulling it pretty hard, it doesn't want to come up. So usually what I have to do is I have to pull this tab and then get underneath with a pry tool or my fingernail and then pop like one of the sides, just like that. Okay, alright, so let's lift the hard drive out and I'll show you. So the hard drive here has this caddy and there's this metal bracket that goes across the SATA connector. So to remove the hard drive, you actually have to take the 4 screws out and then transfer over this metal caddy to the new hard drive or SSD, and then you can actually pop this SATA connector out. I'm going to leave that, but you basically just pull this connector off, put it on the new drive, and then put the caddy on the new one. Alright, so that's pretty much all there is that I'm going to show with this one as far as upgrading and the connectors that are inside. I'm not going to be doing a complete disassembly. So hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, please like and subscribe. Help others find my videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. If you want, I'm going to be putting this back together so you can stay and watch that. But other than that, that's pretty much all there is. So there's not too much trick to putting this one back together. The bottom cover, you do kind of have to put it together in certain angles just to get the panels to go in properly. I'm going to clean up the dust first and then I will put the bottom cover on. So I'm going to pause the recording for a bit and I will be back after this last screw. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. See you in once I clean up all the dust. Alright, so I'm back. Just cleaned off the dust on the fans. Alright, and one thing I'm going to test actually, I'm going to see if the RAM trick worked. Sometimes cleaning off the RAM, if one of them is bad and you put the stick back in, it's still going to have the issue. So if you want, sometimes it's good to actually check one stick of RAM at a time, and that way it will rule out if there's one stick that's bad. Usually the chance that both sticks of RAM are bad is very, very low. So if you were to check one stick of RAM at a time, even like in the other slots just to be safe, then you can rule out if it's an issue with the RAM for sure. Okay, so let's see here. Now that I've cleaned out the dust, let's try and power it on and see. I did see like some dead like bug stuff in here, so it could also be that the bugs cause some issue, and if that's the case, it's definitely going to be a motherboard problem. And yeah, I pushed the power, the lights went off, but the fans are still going, so I'm starting to think it's almost definitely a motherboard issue. So I'm going to turn this back off. I'm going to try switching the sticks of RAM, using one stick of RAM just to be safe, and then we'll see what happens. Alright, so let's pop out this stick of RAM. Alright, set that aside, and then let's try again. Alright, let's power it on. Let's see, it's not turning on. So if it's not turning on, then that's usually a motherboard issue, so it should be off. Let's see. Sounds like it's powering. The lights are on right here. The lights went off. Yeah, it's looking like a motherboard issue. So I'm going to power this off again. I'm going to try the other stick of RAM in that slot, just to be safe. Sorry, my head's getting in the way. Alright, let's try it again. Here, powering on. The lights aren't going on right away. Oh, there we go. Same thing, the lights went back off. Yeah, so it looks like it's a dead motherboard. Most likely because I did see like dead bug husks or shells or whatever in there. A lot of times I see on computers, I don't know, bugs like the warmth or something, and then they go in the computer and then they mess up some components, they short things out. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I'll try this one last stick in the other slot just to see if there's any luck there, but I'm doubting it. I'll try one more time. Hear the fan powering up. Right, keyboard sliding up, and it just turns off. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the motherboard's toast. I'm gonna power it off completely. There we go, and I'm just gonna reassemble it. So that's pretty much it. You can stay while I put back all the screws. But yeah, hopefully this video helped you, at least if you wanted to upgrade your computer. But yeah, alright, let's put this back in. So you slide, oops, let me zoom out more. So basically, to put this back together, what you want to do is you slide this bottom piece in first, slide with the cover up at an angle. Okay, then slowly lower it down, and then you can clip all these pieces in place, and then we'll put back the screws. Alright, tighten this middle one first, just like that. Make sure all of this is clipped down, and then we'll put back the 6 side screws. Okay. So sadly this one wasn't repairable. Oh, the clips are still out. There we go. Last ones. All right. Alright, and that's all there is to it. So hopefully this video helped you. Again, please like and subscribe, help others find my videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!